back. As the holidays wind down, expenses may be looming on the credit bill, or perhaps the bank balance is a little lighter from all that shopping you did.
Your finances may be at the top of your New Year resolution, but you may not know where to start. So let's turn things over to business attorney and author Monique Hayes to help us reach some of those goals. So glad that you are with us, Monique, because a lot of people make getting their finances in check their New Year's resolution. So what are some simple tips that we can use just to get started?
Sure. The first thing I would say is adopt an abundance mindset. Just coming out of the holidays, it could be overwhelming looking at the expenses that you had, but adopting an abundance mindset will help you to set priorities and to recognize that wealth is within your reach and that you can manage your financial intentions as well as opportunities. So first, adopt an abundance mindset and then get serious about implementing measures that will bring wealth preservation and protection within your reach. And the first priority I often say is to make sure that you have an emergency fund. So an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses that are available to you and set aside. If you already have an emergency fund, or if you tapped into it during the holidays, now is the time to re-engage and replenish that emergency fund and house it in a high yield savings account. That will be objective number one. Even before paying off debt from the holidays, is establishing that emergency fund, placing it into a high yield savings account, which is oftentimes more lucrative and advances your returns than a traditional savings account. And it doesn't matter what level of savings you have, you can go into your local bank and request that your emergency fund be set into the high yield savings account. After this high yield savings account, the next priority I would say to set is looking at your retirement funds, taking advantage at the top of the year, if you have it available to you, to max out on your 401k. In January of 2024, we do have a new 401k limit, and that is $23,000. And if you're able to set for the course of the year to reach that $23,000 amount in your 401k or other government savings plan. If you're a federal employee, for instance, the equivalent is a TSP plan, but your savings plan, max out your retirement plan. And then do a full financial assessment. That assessment should include looking at, on an annual basis, where you are with your beneficiary designations. Make sure that they're up to date. So if you have life insurance or bank accounts, if you have Venmo, Cash App, all accounts really, you want to be sure that the beneficiary is up to date as of this year.
I want to ask you one question quickly.
Sure.
Because one of the reasons people are in this problem in the first place is credit cards, right? It's so easy to get into credit card debt, but not so easy to get out of it. What advice do you give people?
After you have established your emergency fund first, I set that priority even before paying off the debt. Then when it comes to the credit card, sometimes it could be absolutely overwhelming. One strategy I recommend is a snowball approach. And what that entails is looking at all of your credit cards and seeing which of them is the least amount. So if you have 10 credit cards, one of them has $100,000 balance. All of the other credit cards, set them to the minimum payment. Pay the minimum payment on all cards, except for the one with the lowest balance. Make that credit card payment the highest that you can possibly make. All of your excess income that you have available, pour it into paying off the card with the lowest balance first.
That way you knock it out.
That way you knock it out. And then what that does is it gives you a sense of accomplishment, right?
I want to get in your book. I wish we had so much more time. You are such a brilliant wealth of knowledge. You have a book also, The Legacy Blueprint, Building Generational Wealth, which is so important, especially for black and brown households, which are disproportionately impacted by the lack of generational
and
wealth.
I just want to say one thing. If you have 10 credit cards, that's a problem.
It's not uncommon. The average in America is 5. So
oh, boy.
Thank you so much.
We'll book you again because you got a lot to share.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Monique.
Thank you.